What is up, YouTube? It's been a little bit of a hiatus, which I apologize for. You might remember a couple of years ago I used to do some Brawl Stars content, and things have changed. A lot of things have changed since then. I'm not doing that sort of stuff anymore, but a lot of exciting things have happened. I graduated university, moved to Boston, got my first big boy job in a firm. I am preparing for law school in 2025. And most recently, I have started training for a marathon. As some of you who know me a little bit better might remember, I've always been really into fitness, and I've also been interested in inspiring other people in their fitness journey, whether it's through training with them, offering up plans, giving tips, or leading by example. Fitness is something that I think is really important for my well-being, my mental health, and it's part of who I am as a person. So, as much as I don't really miss the Brawl Stars content that much, I do miss sharing some parts of my life and giving you an insight on my mentality, my training, and what's going on for me. So I thought I would start to share a little bit of my build towards my first marathon in the spring of 2025, as well as, some of my tips, my daily runs, what sort of training I'm doing, and maybe inspire a couple of you along the way to re-engage with fitness or engage with fitness for the first time. So with that said, we're gonna hop into a little easy run around Boston. It's about 50 degrees and it's beautiful and there's a little bit of sun left, and we're gonna set ourselves up well for tomorrow's long run. So hope some of you are interested in this new content and stick around for the journey. Appreciate you all. See you on the road. All right, it finally started to get a little quieter. We're finally onto the Charles River. About 2 miles in, nice easy like 8:30 pace, and yeah, feeling good. Legs are definitely a little bit tired from yesterday's workout, but again, this is mostly just a shakeout run. I think one of the first questions y'all are probably wondering is, how do you even start getting into running? For me, it was just a matter of my girlfriend and I were like, I wonder if we could run a half marathon. And we kind of just dared each other to sign up, and next thing we knew, we were training for it. I think part of the most motivating factor is if you have something that you need to race, you want to do well, putting that pressure on yourself, sort of an obligatory thing, is a great way to get started. Since then, we've run 2 other half marathons, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the fastest runner. My most recent one, I think I was around 129, 128. I'll put up the Strava right around here. But the point is not to be the fastest runner. The point is you're doing something that you love or learn to love, and you're improving. The goal is always, how can I get the most improvement in my day-to-day? How can I be a little bit better than I was yesterday, than I was last week, a month ago? And if you live your life like that, you're gonna be really happy with the results. Let me see if I can get a little view for you guys about what I'm looking at while I'm running. Look at that. The Charles, the Boston skyline. It's all just freaking beautiful. And that's another thing, whether it's getting to explore the city a little bit more or just getting out and about, running takes you places, quite literally. I would not have been able to explore 1/10 of what this city has to offer if I hadn't been running around every day. Even in the pretty short amount of time, and in the grand scheme of things, it really is quite short, that I'd restarted running, I'd seen a ton of progress. I mean, when I first started running again, I was, 210 pounds in the depths of powerlifting, and I just had different goals. And I could not break a 7-minute mile when I first started, which seems crazy to admit because I just ran my last half marathon and I didn't have a single mile that was slower than 6:53, I think was my slowest. Just 13.1 miles at a pace faster than I could do 1 mile at when I first started. It was all just about putting in that work, being consistent, doing my weekly mileage, taking these easy runs seriously, and not pushing myself too hard, but also staying locked in. And that's amazing to me. Like, that makes me so incredibly happy just to see that progress, even in a short amount of time. Now compound that a couple years, imagine where you can be. That's a wrap. About 5 miles, nice easy pace. A little shakeout for tomorrow's run. And we're gonna get some mobility work and a little weights in at the Y here. So I'll catch you tomorrow morning and we'll get after it. All right, got 14 miles on deck this morning. A little bit of a slow start, a little hungover. We'll get working. Probably run along with Charles again. So let's get after it. Checking in around mile 5 now. Gonna pop a gel in a sec, but I wanted to talk about expectations and goals. You see, before every run, I want to have a vision of what my run's gonna look like, how I want to define success in my run, and today, that's just about getting the miles. I want to hit 14. It's one of the longest long runs that I've done in recent memory. And I'm not trying to push the pace. I know that based on my current fitness, my VO2 max, an easy pace is anywhere from 8:01 to 8:50. So I want to stay within that limit and just let my legs take me. Not trying to do any crazy tempo and get the 14 miles in. And that's how I set up my experience of success and build from that. Now that we're 5 miles in, I also have to take a look at how am I feeling today. You know, I have some pain in my right calf. Is that going to change what my goals are for today? We'll see. Probably around mile 10, I'll either be in a lot of pain or I'll work through it. But you need to both set goals and also be ready to adapt based on what's happening during the day. Alrighty, 7 miles in, we're at that halfway point, and to be honest, the calf issue seems to be letting go, so I'm feeling great. It's nice and sunny. I do wish I had brought a short sleeve, but it might be time for tarps off in a couple miles, so we'll check it a little bit. All right, that's the 10-mile mark for us. Still holding about mid-8s, maybe 8:15s for the last couple. Feeling good, but this is where we start to work. Got 4, maybe 5. I might do 15. We'll see how we're feeling, but we're in the end game now. There's a big change physiologically after you're on your feet for about an hour and a half. You run out of glycogen, and when you get to this point where I'm at about an hour and 35, my body's run out of fuel that it can efficiently burn. So you kind of start to shut down. Your legs start looking a little shaky, aches and pains start creeping in, and even though I had a couple gels, there's definitely a big slowdown at this point. So now, about 11 and a half in, we're in the pain cave. Even though this is a slow, easy pace for the most part, Like I can talk fine. My heart rate is probably in the 145, 150 range. I'm still starting to hurt. But this is when we lock in, and this is where we as runners gotta enjoy the burn, gotta enjoy the pain, and thrive in it. Let's go. Let's go. Final bit. Man, I'm so wiped. I almost forgot to close this video out, but that's 14.5 done. Solid pace. Throw up the Strava. I think a little bit over 8. And remembering our goals for today, somewhere between that 801 to 850 range is what we were shooting for. That was how we were thinking about success. And 806 being at the speedier end of that range means it's a great run. Felt good. Had a couple aches and pains. Being on your feet for 2 hours is going to be hard either way, but we pushed through it. So that's a wrap on the week. I'll throw up the mileage for this week. Just over 40, and we're going to continue to build week to week as we get closer and closer to that first marathon. But I hope you all enjoyed a little sneak peek of what's coming for me and want to continue to stick along for the content. If you have any questions, toss them in the comments. I always read all the comments, so look forward to hearing from you. All right, peace, guys.